Hi, my name is Kevin Darty. I'm the Education Director for the Illinois Ag in the Classroom, and I'm standing here on a beautiful fall day in central Illinois with a farmer who's thinking about spring. How do I know he's thinking about spring? Because I'm standing here in front of these huge pieces of tile that'll be used to drain the soil. This farmer's thinking about spring much like you would think about spring when it comes time to planting flowers. If you plant flowers in a flower pot, your flower pot has holes in the bottom of it. What this farmer is doing is he's getting ready to plant this tile somewhere between 3 and 3.5 feet below the surface to help act as a drain. Tiling helps remove excess moisture from subsurface soil. That's the goal. It brings moisture levels down and helps warm up the soil in the spring for earlier spring planting. Now this goes back a long ways. It goes back in the 1900s and even to the 1800s and even into the Great Depression. In the 1920s and 30s, a number of farmers were trying to tile their fields to make sure that they could plant more. There was a drop-off in the 1980s due to wetland production because we were trying to surface wetlands. But even today, we're working on protecting the wetlands and making our soil as profitable as possible. Currently, there are over 11 million acres in Illinois that are tile drained, and those lands are likely to be in the northern 2/3 part of the state. For those of you familiar with Illinois geography, that's the flatter part, that's the flat part that was leveled off hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, during our glaciation period. Now, tile drainage goes back to 200 BC, where the Greeks started using tile draining. But in the United States, a man by the name of John Johnston, a Scottish immigrant, brought the practice to New York State in the 1820s. It's so important in upstate New York and agriculture, there's even a museum of tile drainage in New York. The premise, again, is much like the flower pot, to allow the moisture, the excess moisture, to drain off to help the plants grow. Now, one of the things that farmers are also worried about this fall as they prepare for next spring is how to place the right nutrients on their soil. Nutrients are elements that are on the periodic chart of elements. If you take a deep breath in, most of what you just took in wasn't oxygen, but it was nitrogen. Farmers use a lot of nitrogen, but they want to make sure that they add nitrogen in the 4 R's. They want to add the right source of nitrogen at the right rate, in the right place, at the right time. Think of you studying homework. You want to make sure that if you're having trouble with a specific concept, you work on that. You don't have to work on spelling if you're struggling with social studies. So, one of the things to think about is farmers want to limit their tilling. They want to limit their tilling and their tiling. Their tilling is how they chop up the ground to get rid of the stuff on top, but they also want to limit their tiling to make sure that the nutrients stay in place. There's a lot of preparation going on this fall for next spring. I want you to think about that. These farmers are already thinking about spring break. Most of you are thinking about Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, but our farmers are already thinking about next spring. With that, there's also a short video clip I think you'll enjoy about how farmers take care of the earth. Until next time, we'll see you soon.